At the bottom of Poverish Road in the suburbs of Orpington is a unique building site, the remains of a Roman bathhouse nearly 2,000 years old. Built in AD 270, the foundations are protected by a small shed in a field near the junction with Cray Avenue. The shed can clearly be seen as you travel up Poverish Road towards Petts Wood. Here, the protective plastic sheeting is removed, getting the site ready for its public open day, which is held once a year. With me here today is Mike Meekums from Orpington and District Archaeological Society. Mike, can you give us a background to this very interesting discovery?
Welcome to the Poverish Roman Bathhouse. It was built about 270 AD. It consists of 3 rooms, a hot room, a medium room and a cold room. The cold room was built as an extension to the other 2 rooms at a slightly later date. There are 2 baths with a possible 3rd plunge pool. The first bath is in the hot room, the second bath is in the medium room, and then the possible 3rd plunge pool is between the 2nd and 3rd rooms. It is made of flint and would have been 1 story high with a roof made of tile supported by a timber structure.
Can you give us a little tour?
Down here you're looking at the remains of the underfloor central heating system with Roman tile across here and here with a gap to let the hot air through from that room into this room. And then over here you have some Roman cement here, and you've got a rectangular bath just there. That would have been faced with some plaster or some sort of tiles or something. And then over here we have what is possibly another plunge pool to sort of jump in. And then here you have the doorway which has collapsed, and you've got a step there which leads from this room into that room.
Where does the water come from, Mike?
If you go back on and look at old maps about late 1800s, before the houses in Fordcroft were actually built, there's a row of springs dotted around this area, and so I imagine that in Roman times there would have been springs dotted around here. Probably one just close by, so they get their water supply. There was no fixtures or fittings and no pipes or anything like that, so the water had to be brought in by slaves and then emptied out by slaves as well.
Oh, bailed out?
Just bailed out, yeah.
How was it heated?
It would have been a wood boiler, and just to brew up the to actually just make the hot air come underneath the floor, basically.
Would everyone have fresh water, or would they use it several times?
A good question again. I would imagine you'd probably just use it again several times, but I don't know about that. I imagine.
How did you come to be involved in this project?
In the 1960s, some of the houses in Poverish Road were being pulled down to make way for new houses, and the local archaeologist Peter Tester heard that in the back gardens people were finding pieces of Roman pottery and tile, and when the sewer was being looked at in Belfield Road, which is the next road across, some Roman material was found in the road, and so he carried out an excavation and found some 70 to 80 Anglo-Saxon burials. The rest of the houses were pulled down in the 1970s, and The curator of the Bromley Museum at the time, Suzanne Palmer, realised that she ought to be taking some action and undertook an excavation in the back gardens and then found the building. I became interested because I was in the Scouts at the time and at school, and there was a notice at the start of the meeting about volunteers needed to help wheelbarrows around the site and carry buckets of earth, and so I came along and then started excavating and have been interested in archaeology, and it's been my hobby ever since. And with the members, the volunteers who were here excavating, we formed the Orpington District Archaeological Society in 1975, and the society is still going strongly today.
Well, there you have it. Nearly 2,000 years of history hidden away in this tiny shed in a small plot on the outskirts of Orpington. Let us hope it can continue to be preserved for the benefit of future generations.